What's up guys? So today I'm bringing back a brand new video and got my little studio up and everything for this video. So today I'm basically going to be talking about my coming out story, as I feel like a lot of you guys could probably relate and others could probably do with hearing somebody's. Yeah, so let's just get right into it really. Okay, so let's start off with just saying I am bisexual. I came out in 2018 on Christmas Day with my whole family. Well, actually, not my whole family. I mean, some of them, the closest ones to me. And yeah, I mean, so basically, I've always known I was bisexual ever since I was like really young. But I think like a lot of people, I used to push it aside. You know, didn't really think much of it. Didn't think much too into it. And I didn't really believe myself. I mean, I supported everyone around me. I supported other people that were part of the LGBTQ community. And I didn't have a problem. I mean, I used to stick up for them and say, you know, love is love, who cares, you know, just date whoever you want. But whenever, you know, would make jokes and people would say, oh, I'm gay, or, you know, I'm bi or whatever, I'd be like, oh, no, you know, no, I'm not. Like, I just wouldn't. It's just not me. You know what? I didn't even get defensive, because people used to say if you get defensive with those kinds of jokes, then you're most likely. So I used to like put up on the front and joke and laugh with them, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm really." And it got to the point where that everyone knew or thought that I was straight. Did a pretty good job of it, as you can tell. But yeah, so my whole life everyone's always thought I'm straight, including my family, which I have no idea how, because when I tell you the things I used to dress in was proper tomboyish things I'd do, you know, it just, when I look back it was very obvious, but my parents are oblivious, so there's that. I think I was pretty oblivious to myself as well, really, but yeah, so I think I got my first crush when I was in like year 2. On a girl. I used to date a lot of lads when I was younger, moved around a lot of schools, you know, kid stuff, that's what you do. Yeah, I've always dated lads. I've just never ever come across another gay or bi lass, so there just wasn't really an opportunity for me to see, I guess, which I think is why it's so hard for me now as I'm older. But so when I got around to about 8 years old, I was in a relationship and whatnot, and when I was 8, I went through a bit of a phase where I was fancying lasses at my school and things, and my brother actually ended up dating one of them, but that's the story for another day. But yeah, and I didn't really know what those feelings were. You know, I used to hear of people going through phases, so I was like, I'm going through a phase, you know, whatever is what kids do. So the phase sort of went around when I was about 10. And then when I got to about 11 years old, the phase came back. Bear in mind, I'm at a completely different new school now. And I went through a miniature phase again where I was confused about my sexuality. I didn't know what was happening, you know. I was very young the first time that it happened, so I was like, I didn't really understand what was going on. I thought it was a phase and now it's coming back. I think deep down I knew that it wasn't a phase, but I'd like to tell myself it was. So, you know, this phase was happening and I'd be crying every night, and then I moved school again and I was still about 11, 12-ish, and I went to boarding school. And this is where it sort of changed a little bit for me. At boarding school, I was boarding, you know, I was sleeping there, I was basically living there, because we moved around a lot, and, you know, and so the first day that I got at this school, I was fine. And then as I got to about year 6 or year 7, where I started boarding more, it was that's when it started to kick in more, and I was getting, you know, crushes on lasses again, and I didn't really know what was happening. Yeah, I'd be thinking about lasses that weren't at my school, you know, that I know outside of school and things, and it was very, very confusing. And ever since like year 7, I'd be crying every night. I'd be thinking of lasses every night. I just wouldn't know what's going on. And this happened ever since year 7. So every single day, every single week, every single month. And it got to the point where I was in year 9 where I was more, you know, I was still dating lads at the time. Still wasn't dating any lasses. Didn't know anybody. And I don't know, I just, when I'd be dating some lads, you know, I'd still have like, oh, what about lasses in the back of my mind, which I shouldn't have been having. Luckily there weren't serious relationships when I was just a kid, but time went on a bit more and I dated this lad and it was kind of serious. Like, I did really like him. I was like, you know, I really do like him. And we ended up breaking up for other reasons, and that's when I started crying even more every night and thinking about lasses more every night, and it just got more and more serious. So I started asking my questions, you know, I started, you know, ever since I was younger, me and my friends would have a laugh and go on to am I gay quizzes just for a laugh, and, you know, I wouldn't answer the questions honestly because I didn't want it showing up to my friends that I was bi or I was a lesbian. So, you know, I used to lie, and then after school I used to do the quizzes by myself and answer the questions properly, and it used to come up as bisexual, and some of them would come up as lesbian, and I'd be like, what is happening? So anyway, time goes by. About, you know, this is like my last year at this school, and I started coming to terms a little bit with what I was feeling, my sexuality, and I thought I'd try something. I thought, you know, if I come out to myself, you know, stand in the mirror and I come out to myself saying, I'm bisexual, I like lasses, I like lads, and see if that takes anything off my shoulders, see if that stops me from crying and that. And I'll tell you what, it really didn't. I actually just started getting more thoughts. I used to have dreams of lasses, I used to think about lasses even more, I used to cry about lasses even more. It got to the point where I started thinking more about lasses than lads, and that was like the first phase of thinking more of lasses than lads in ever, basically. So that was when I was in year 11, and that same year, so that was I left that school in July, something around July, and then it was summer, you know, before I went to college, and this was the last sort of year where I was thinking to myself, you know, what's happening? I need to figure myself out before I go to college because I'm starting to get in the real world, you know, I'm growing up and that. I was 16, bear in mind. I just turned 16 in August. And so I thought, you know, if I keep having these thoughts, I'm going to see how it goes in the last couple months, and then I'm going to, even though I didn't know if I was or not, I thought, you know, I'm going to come out to somebody and see what happens. So let's talk about who I came out to and what happened next. Okay, so I messaged my friend who is gay, and she lives far, far away, you know, France, whatever. And I was messaging back and forth with her. She said that she knew because, I don't know, I had that look, I don't know. But yeah, we were, you know, texting back and forth about this, and she was giving me advice about it. She was asking me questions, I was answering them honestly, we were talking about it, and she really, really helped me out. Like, honestly helped me figure myself out. And, you know, she wasn't telling me that I am this or I am that, and if you think this, you are that, you are this. And it was very well, if you are, then why don't you explore it, you know, just giving me advice. I was taking it, I was taking the advice. And so I messaged my other friend Annie, and she, I'd made a prank when I was younger on two of my friends, Ellie and Annie. Ellie has been on my other YouTube channel plenty of times, and I made a prank on them saying that I was gay, and they didn't believe me, and then they believed me, and I was like, oh, I'd never be gay, blah, 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 blah. Sort of testing the waters, really. And they were like, yeah, I think, yeah, we know, like, you're straight, blah, blah, blah. And so this time I went to my mate and I was like, remember that prank? Yeah, well, it's not a prank anymore. I think I actually am. I think it sort of backfired on me, and I think I might be bisexual. And she just put okay, I'm proud of you. Like, if you think that's what you are, then explore it, see how it goes. You know, I love you, I'm happy for you. Just be yourself. And that to me was a very massive reassurance, because she's one of my best mates. She's like a sister to me, and just to hear that from her really helped me in a sense. And it makes me feel a little bit better, but it still didn't make me fully believe to myself that I am who I am. So next thing I did was, coming around November, December time, I walked into my brother's room and I sat down. Me and my brother aren't very close. You know, we can talk about some things and that, but I thought, you know what, I'd give it a shot. You know, why not just try, test it, just see what happens. So I went into my brother's room, sat down, and I got really awkward. I was like, have you ever thought about, you know, dating lads? Or, you know, have you ever gone through a phase and whatnot? He was like, what? No, you're joking. And I think he started to pick up a bit, and we started talking about me, and I said, look, I am having these thoughts and all that, and I think I might be bisexual, but I don't know. And he started asking me these questions like, well, do you think about lasses? You know, do you think in that way? You know, when you look at a lass, do you think, oh yeah? Then he started joking and asking what lasses have I liked from different schools and that. And, you know, we just got into a serious talk about everything. Obviously, it was jokey and that, just taking light of the situation. But it helped. It makes me, you know, it made me feel happy that, you know, he wasn't judging me for anything. And he was just helping me in that situation, talking to me about it. And the more we were talking about it, the more I felt happier. Like, when I was talking to my friends, I didn't like feel any happy. But talking to one of my family members, my brother, it made me feel happy in the sense of sort of coming out to my brother and just hearing his side and his reassurance and his happiness of me being myself and that. And so the next day, no, in fact, that same night, I went on notes in my phone and I started writing this thing. If I can find it, I'll stick it on the screen here. And I basically said, you know, I went to this party and I got a truth, asked if I was a lesbian, because apparently to this one kid who said that I looked like someone that would be gay. So I was taken back, but I said, no, I'm not, you know, I'm straight, blah, blah, blah. And so I put on my notes, I was like, I got asked this truth and I lied. I am bisexual. I really don't care if people don't like it, then, you know where to go, basically. And I came out to everybody on my Snapchat, and I didn't get any bad messages. I didn't get anything judgmental. It was all like from a few people, you know, that were happy for me, and there were some people I didn't get messages from that I thought I was close to, which I was a bit bummed about. But at the same time, like, you're not gonna be friends with everyone. You're not gonna get a response from everyone. Like, it shouldn't really be that big of a deal. Which I must say, ever since I was younger, I used to say, oh, if I was to ever come out, you know, I'd never actually come out because I don't see the problem. It's not a big deal. You know, I don't see the point. I just bring home my girlfriend or my boyfriend or whatever and just say, deal with it. And, you know, in my head, it was that easy until and bear in mind, I thought I was straight when I was saying this. I mean, my whole life, I'd always say, I love who I love. I never said a specific gender like everyone would, like, oh, my dream boyfriend is. I just go, my dream partner is. And subconsciously, I always used to do that without actually realising. Makes sense now, but yeah. So, you know, I came out to my whole Snapchat before I came out to my family. I felt more comfortable doing it that way. I wanted to see more of a response. And bear in mind, I know that my family are very supportive no matter what. So I knew that they were going to be fine. But there was still a bit of me that was like, oh, what if though? Like, what if they kick me out, or they don't love me anymore, or they think differently of me, or just all these different thoughts in my head. I was getting really, really nervous for no reason. You know, I've watched a lot of videos out there that has said the same thing. You know what your family's like, but you seriously don't need to worry yourself too much. If you know what they're like, then just go do it, because the chances are you're right. Obviously, if you have, if you know your family, what they're like with other people, and that being a bit homophobic or whatever, then I'd say probably move out or whatever before doing that, just in case. But I feel like you should just do it, and if your parents don't support you, then you deserve better. So after sending this Snapchat, I decided when my whole family was round on Christmas that I would come out as bisexual. Even though I'm still not 100% sure if I am bisexual, but I thought if I was to come out to my family, in my mind, would that be something? And then later on I could just be like, oh, it's a phase if I don't believe it, and I'll figure out that I'm not. So I did. I was planning to come out to my family. My mum was in the kitchen, and I just burst out crying for no reason. She could tell that I needed to say something. I just burst out crying. My whole family was in the dining room, and I don't know why, I just started crying. So I said to her to ask her. My brother helped. I gave my brother my phone with the note, and I told him to give it to Mom and let her read it. So that's exactly what he did. He passed my phone to my mum, and she read it, and she gave me a hug, and she started tearing up a tiny bit and was like, you're so stupid, like, why don't you just tell me, that's fine, we love you no matter what. Then my dad came in and saw that I'd been crying and asked what had happened. So my mum turned around and said she's bisexual. And then my dad said, why are you crying for? Like, stop being stupid, we love you, we're proud of you, whatever. Gave me a hug. And they asked if I was going to go tell the rest of my family that was in the dining room. I was like, yeah, but I don't know how. And I was scared more of how my grandparents would react, because they are a bit older, and I didn't, really know. So, I got a bit scared, and so my mum said, well, I'll help you out, and I said, okay. So she went into the dining room, she told my family that I was bisexual, and one by one my family came up and gave me a massive hug, and my auntie actually gave me this massive speech and sat me down on the sofa. Bear in mind, she was drunk, and, was probably giving me this talk and just saying that she loves me no matter what and everything. It was nice. I mean, it's a big talk, but it was good to hear. And, that was it. And everyone had the same response. I was kind of worried because my family are a very sarcastic and jokey family. I'm like that as well, but, when it comes to, like, gay, lesbian, all that, they always have something to say. It's always a jokey thing. It's nothing bad. Like, they support everyone for being who they are. They don't care, they'd rather people be themselves. So, but obviously everyone has those little jokes and things, and, you have jokes about everything. So I was a little bit nervous because I thought maybe they were hiding how they really felt or whatever, but I was wrong. I was very, very wrong, and they love me no matter what. I mean, I still, they pick on me and they say jokes and that, but I laugh with them because it's funny, and it's just good to joke about and make light things. But when I came out and I finally told my family, for some reason, I've never felt this way in my life, but as soon as I came out to my family, it's like I stopped thinking every night of lasses. I stopped crying every night about lasses. I stopped dreaming about being with a lass, all these thoughts that I haven't had my whole life. It just vanished from just this one day that I came out saying out loud I'm bisexual to my family. And that to me was a massive giveaway that a weight's just been lifted off my shoulder and I really am bisexual. It was a relief that I'm not going to have these thoughts anymore. I mean, now and then you get those thoughts, you're bound to. But, it wasn't as extreme as before. And I'm so proud of myself for doing that. And I'm so proud of my family for helping me and for giving me the response that they gave me, because it really helped me. And I think everyone deserves that, really. But I will say everyone needs to come out when they're ready, because if I was to come out like 2 years before that, I don't think I would have been ready. and I probably wouldn't have known 100% like myself what I'm doing. So just do it when you're ready, when you really feel like the time is right. Get some help from your friends or your family if you need to, and just only tell people that you really trust, because I've had friends that have told some people thinking, you know, that it's a good idea telling someone that they're not that close to, and turns out they go off and out them to everyone. So please make sure you tell someone that you really trust. I'd preferably say some sort of family member, because even though me and my brother ain't that close, he doesn't do that type of thing when it comes to our lives. You know, we don't out anything unless he wants to like snitch on me for something. But I've still never been with a lass, so coming out to my family, you know, the questions I'd be getting would be, are you sure? You know, you've never been with a lass, how do you know? Just all these different things which you're gonna get anyway. Even if you have the most supportive people in your life, you're probably gonna get those questions. But I need to say, to some people that don't support and will turn up on this to say negative comments or whatever because they're having a bad day, I don't know. But if you are watching this and you are one of those people, it's not a choice, okay? If I had a choice, trust me, I'd be choosing to be straight. And it was hard to try and be straight my whole life, and I can tell you that for one. It was extremely hard, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And for other people I know, it's been the hardest thing for them as well. So don't think it's easy, don't think it's a choice for people to make, because it's not. You are literally just born the way, like, you're born with being straight, I'm born being bisexual. And to be honest, my coming out story still hasn't finished, because it's got to the point now where I'm going through a phase where I don't know if I'm just a lesbian now. So my coming out story journey is still going. So, and I will keep you guys updated on that. But for now, that is my coming out story. I don't know if it was pretty long. I think that was pretty long. But yeah, I thought I'd share a bit about my life and my journey and things I've learned and that. And yeah, that's the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see more about my journey, my life, anything, you know, little stories that have happened in my life, things to do with me coming out, whatever, then please go to my socials, because I think comments are being disabled all over YouTube. So please go to my socials, DM me, message me, whatever, and give me suggestions of what you'd like to see from me, and I will do that for you. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. So peace.